Askreddit, what is something you thought was common sense but were surprised at the lack of people who didn't know about it? Your tax rate doesn't just go up when you enter the higher tax bracket. Only the amount you earn above that bracket is taxed at that rate. The number of people I've encountered who don't understand this is shocking. I'm not just talking about young people, but educated professionals who have been in the workforce for years and who are concerned that their promotion will mean they make more but keep less. No. People getting off the bus, subway etc., have the right of way. Let people out before you try and get in. One could say the same things about elevators. But the students at the college I work at can't even get that far. They think any elevator is for them even if it's going the wrong direction. So they ride and ride until they eventually end at their floor. Spatial awareness. When you're in public, don't take up space like you're in private. You're in everybody's way. Like stopping to look around right when you get off an escalator, or when you leave a store and step outside. That drives me nuts. That your turn signal is actually supposed to be used when turning. I'd like to add before turning or merging, as well. Anything having to do with basic geography, such as where north is, if Florida is on the east or west coast, the location of Antarctica on a map, etc. I used to think my girlfriend was a little stupid until I realized most people don't know this stuff. This is so common. I don't expect you to name all the countries in Asia, or tell me what the capital of Namibia is, but people should definitely have basic geography knowledge, especially about the country they live in. One time in grade 10 we had a substitute teacher in our geography class who split us up into teams and named a country and had you point at it on the map. A girl on my team pointed to France when asked where Argentina is. Like come on, at least get the continent right. Don't drink grapefruit juice with medications. Wait, what? Why shouldn't you drink grapefruit juice with medication? Sneezing into the crook of your elbow is more hygienic than sneezing into your hands as you're going to touch things with your hands and spread the germs. Wait, do people really not know this? This is basic hygiene. Chew with your mouth closed. Can't it stress this enough? I don't need your flying piece of bread to land on my face. Vaccinating your children. No. Terrible idea. It is dangerous to vaccinate your children. You should have your doctor do it. Wash your hands after using the toilet. I wash my hands in the toilet. 2 birds, 1 stone. That the Catholic Church had a massive pedophilia problem. I knew this shit as a child for fact. It was just a thing to me. I figured adults were solving the problem. 15 years later and it's somehow a surprise to everyone. Hell, 30 years ago there were jokes about boys and priests that were only semi-joking. How to drive in a roundabout traffic circle. I encounter idiots every single day. I'm not surprised by this one, they are extremely rare in America. Going into the woods during hunting season. Wear an orange vest. Just because you are not hunting does not mean you should not be easy to see when the rifles are about. What about my moose antlers hat, is that safe to wear? If you brush your teeth, they last longer. Some are teeth, some are here and some are there. On the road, using blinkers and stopping on a red light when I moved from the countryside to the city, I was surprised to see how often people run on red light. When the light turned green, you always have to wait a second before moving because 50% of the time there is someone running the red light. Add stopping at stop signs to the list. If you tell someone to follow your car, don't drive like a fracking moron. As a follow-up, if you are following someone because you don't know how to get where you are both going, don't pass them. Oh, so many things. If you open the oven door it lets the heat out, don't stand there with the door open while you turn your food, close the door. If you put all your dirty stuff in the sink then leave it, it's much harder to wash everything than if it's next to the sink. Also, if you live with other people you're just making it harder for them to clean their stuff or to even get to the tap. Metal teaspoons are washable. If you use one in a staff room or similar, wipe it. Don't just leave it in the sink. Also, just wash and reuse one cup instead of leaving multiple dirty cups in the sink during the day. It saves everyone time. You are all going to get a seat on the plane. It's basically guaranteed. There's no need to get flustered. If you don't communicate well, then people won't understand. You gotta explain your shit to get out of the shit. Sulking, hiding away or getting aggressive and defensive isn't useful. Damn, these are just the simple ones. I have a ton related to more controversial topics like politics and stuff, but nah, I'ma put my feet up and relax instead. You are all going to get a seat on the plane. It's basically guaranteed. There's no need to get flustered. This is more about overhead compartment space than an actual seat. Airplane won't run out of seats, but it will run out of carry-on luggage space. I'm a doctor, so I learned early on that common sense is not so common, but pregnancy misconceptions still kill me. We've been having babies for hundreds of thousands of years, you would think that we would be experts by now. But I've had to explain to adults that you can still get pregnant in a hot tub, you can still get pregnant if the woman is on top, you can still get pregnant if your 40 pull-outs are useless, precum is filled with sperm. Interesting claim to say precum is filled with sperm. I can find only one study that partially supports this and several which deny it. That most people have herpes. Cold sores, or fever blisters, on the mouth are herpes, and they are transmittable as genital herpes through oral sex. Apparently people don't know that. About 80+% of people have it. Yes but no, but yes. You can transfer oral herpes to the genitals, but if you've already given it to them orally, it doesn't generally ever show up genitally, even if you are contagious and going down. Also, the virus most associated with oral herpes doesn't usually manifest in the genitals. Doctor, you can spread oral herpes to the genitals, but it's a much lower rate of infection. People that don't know the difference between then and then. They're stupid. Littering. I was stationed in Hawaii and did a lot of scuba diving. The amount of disregard for one's trash in the waters is mind-boggling. And golf balls. So many golf balls underwater. I've seen people, mainly the Chinese tourists, just throw any of their trash in the waters, or if they're hiking, bag it up and just leave it. It's gotten so bad, they have to have an announcement like as if they're children on their tour buses. Pick up after yourself. Boom. More support for my Asian litterbug theory. Moose, deer, elk and caribou all shed their antlers every winter as blood flow to the bone ceases, the antlers stop growing, they die and fall off. While horns on antelope, cattle, goats, and sheep are permanent, and consist of constantly living bone, similar to human fingernails. It's the main difference between antlers and horns. That seems more like a fun fact rather than common sense. Taking antibiotics greatly decreases the effectiveness of birth control pills. Interactions between medications are not necessarily common sense. Although asking your doctor about any possible interactions between medications you are taking should be. Knowing not to provide personal details to people who call you on the phone and claim to be from the bank, IRS, police, Microsoft, etc. I've been seeing a lot of things in the news lately about text messages and multi-factor authentication being exploited like this. Scammer will go to sign in, and send a Google has detected suspicious activity on your account. Please respond with the code to maintain account security, or a similar phone call. Folks will panic thinking they are helping protect their account. Clean your bum. Wash your hands. Bums don't need to be cleaned. It's healthier to not clean them. The PS2 is the best-selling console of all time. Went to gaming pub quiz. No one knew. While that may be a fun fact, it definitely not common sense. During winter months in cold climates, turn off the inside, shut-off valves, often found in the basement, for outdoor spigots, and drain them, so they don't freeze. Adding to this, put your hoses away. Left lane means fast, right lane means slow. Instructions unclear caused major accident in UK. When in public, don't act like you are fracking home. Like, no, I don't want to hear our music that you are blasting on 100 while walking down the street. When you're at the beach, and three separate groups of people in listening distance all have different music blasting. No one wants to listen to your shitty fracking music. Covering your mouth when you are sneezing. With your elbow. I'm starting a campaign of dab on influenza. Gotta sneeze? Dab. Gotta cough? Dab. When you want to solve a problem with someone else's help, appeal to their softer side and don't be an entitled asshole. Tendency is that people will help you and things could go a lot smoother. It depends on the person and the situation. Some people, organizations really do respond better to the stick than the carrot. That Germany and Russia are no longer communist countries. Germany wasn't communist country. When you're in a discussion with someone on the internet and you are about to write a lengthy comment explaining how dumb they are, just fracking Google your opinion first to see if you're right. Also, if you wouldn't insult someone over some minor differences in opinion in real life, don't do it on the internet. Internet people have feelings too. Yay, but we've built up an internet shield that shields us from the opinions of other internet people. If you can't afford it, why are you buying it? Yes, fucking yes. Also, just because it's expensive doesn't make it better. Hello, your backups are only good if you have successfully validated them by restoring the data. Preferably, on a different system. Regards, Aryeh Goretsky. Also, a backup has significantly reduced value if it's stored on the same disk as the primary data. Washing your hands before and after you use the bathroom. And washing your hand after you touch money. You don't know where it has been. It probably contains more germ than you own toilet. At least you clean your toilet. North is not always the direction you are facing, this one took a while to explain. It is if you're a north-going Zax. Bulls rush with their eyes closed, but cows keep them open. I don't yet know how, but I just know this tidbit will come in very handy in the future. Racism equals bad. I think everyone agrees with this. The problem is that there's no consensus on what is racist. Some white supremacists think forced segregation of races is not racist. Some wokesters think white people trying to cook Chinese food is racist. Because so many times racism is a subjective personal thing. I feel she is putting me down because of my race. Many times it's hard to agree on what exactly racism is. Then you bring in things like systemic racism, unconscious racism, etc., and all bets for objectivity are off. Walk on the right side of the hallway. Conversely, you should always walk on the left side of a road if there's no sidewalk, if cars travel on the right. You want to be facing traffic so you can see trouble coming. Please subscribe. Multiple videos uploaded daily.